Hey, everybody. On this particular day, we went out. I recorded most everything, I think, except for one part, which would have been really nice to have, which was where we kind of pick up here in the photos. The great-tailed grackle while I was out there, and you can see just how great the tail of the grackle is. So we get that. Yeah, it was great. I wish I had been recording for that part. I thought I was. I pressed the button on the chest mount when I got out and put it on put the camera on my vest and walked around, but not so much. It's okay. We still got photos of it. I also tried audio recording it while it was doing the calls, but that was of no quality either. There's a lot of road noise, and it like barely spoke up for a moment. It like got it for not even enough that I could really go here, listen, see this one, because the yellow-headed blackbird that was out there as well was making quite a lot of noise that was there. So unfortunately, we can't do that, but it's cool. We have a fair amount of great-tailed grackle photos that was there. There was also a moment I talked about when I got back in the car, that I was doing that and I was focusing on the western wood pewee that I was seeing. I don't remember if that's what I called it on the day of. Um, I definitely was looking at something. I may have been calling it something else. I'm still trying to learn. And this one in particular is one that I have seen multiple times and thought it was something else until someone went, no, 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 that's the Western wood pewee. So I confirmed it while we were doing the whole bird identification for Patreon's video that goes a lot more in depth to these things. But looking at that, then when I was standing there doing that and taking pictures of this, I looked up and went, oh, turkey vultures. Turkey vultures up in the tree, just hanging out. Really cool. Um, and then one shot in particular, yeah, if we look at this one and we zoom in the full amount, like, I've never seen a turkey vulture this close before or in this detail. And you can see, like, the hole and the beak and, like, some talons. They're so cool. Really, really neat. Ah, great birds. Let's see, what else did I manage to see while we were out there? Because then we wrapped up at that location. I went to another one where I wasn't recording because I was with a bunch of people, and we saw things like the yellow warbler. We saw Bullock's oriole. That was really cool. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Oh, I did. I'll mention it here as well, just as like, eh, quality of the photo is not great. And this is a really good comparison for this one as opposed to like, there's just sometimes everything can line up in the light and everything, but especially on the water, it's just the way it's reflecting. Nope. I was going to say refracting and reflecting. So I've combined those. Anyway, I took a couple pictures of this. This is the ring-neck duck, but they just didn't really turn out right, which is a bummer. When I'm starting to look through it, I'm like, oh, that's not, just the way it comes out. But then maybe the sun went behind a cloud. I don't really remember. Maybe it moved or something. Maybe I switched up settings, went to a higher shutter speed. I couldn't really tell you. I don't remember. But then I got some photos that I'm much happier with for the ring neck duck, and you can really see like that. It's less of the ring necked and more of like a ring billed, but that's not what we call that. This is the ring necked duck, and I think that might actually be the pied billed grebe back there. And I think this was one of the first times. But again, focus point was over here, so you can't really see it. But enough that we can kind of see the bill itself for the pied-billed grebe. Ring-necked duck was one that I don't think I have any photos of yet. So this actually is a new one for me that I can add to the collection. I've been seeing it a fair amount, but they're always so very far away. And most of my photos turn out like, this. Ugh. But got something good. Really happy about that there. And then some other ones that I've been seeing a bunch of, but they're really hard to photograph. They were sitting on the wire, were a couple different kinds of swallows. I think what we have here is all the violet green, because yeah, it's very green, but there actually are a few different ones. So like the juveniles kind of start out a little brown. This one almost looks a little yellow to it. Like there's just fair amounts of variation. They were just sitting there on the wire. I thought that was really cool. A barn swallow, again, that might not be the most rare or anything, but ones that I just haven't managed to get a good photo of because they're often all over the place. We saw multiple kinds of swallows while we were there. I didn't actually manage to get a photo, but we saw one for sure, but it moved off before I could take a good photo of it in any kind. But the roughneck swallow was another one. This is a tree swallow out in the field, which, speaking of out in the field, I gotta count it. but it's terrible quality. It's just not like you can barely see. I was identifying it, and you can just see enough that there's a little bit of black on the head. You mostly have a lot of yellow. There's a lot of streaking going on in these things here. There were multiple of them confirmed by the experts. Thankfully, I wasn't just making this determination myself. I hope once again later at some point to see, and especially the males who are more black, they almost look black bird like. The bobolink, that's a new one for me. And I'm going to count it as I need to get a much better photo of it, but it's a new bird. I'll take it. And then let's see, what else did we have? Really just touch on a couple of the highlights. This was cool. The osprey built up their nest and they are nesting currently. There might be eggs in there at this point. We're kind of on, this is the 23rd of May. I don't think I said that before, but I just thought it was cool that like it had its mouth open and its tongue was visible. That was neat. And then if I look through, I think the biggest highlight, because there's a bunch, we looked through a bunch of different things, but there's been one bird in particular that has been, I don't want to say plaguing us, but it is a new split between what was just called the warbling vireo before this year. This year is a big thing, and it has been. I didn't pick up on it at first, just how rare it is, because to me, anything that I haven't seen is rare. And anybody who's like, okay, this is something that we got to pay attention to, immediately just triggers into, okay, it's rare for some kind. But I didn't realize exactly how much until I got the full story. This is the first year that they split the eastern and western warbling vireo. And the way that they can tell that really is with the audio. You have to upload an audio clip for it to be confirmed. And there has been a lot of that. It counts as a rare bird. It will probably only be this year that it's happening. By the time I'm recording this a couple weeks later, it has been so constant, almost an everyday or every hour thing, if you get the bird alerts every hour, that some people are getting a little sick of it. Some people have straight up turned their bird alerts off because it's just like, okay, we've got it. It's confirmed. We don't need to hear about it every single time, every hour on the hour when someone uploads an Eastern or Western warbling vireo. And I think personally, I've noticed that the Western has dropped off for Colorado, but we still get the Eastern. And as a matter of fact, confirmed by audio, not my audio. I can't play it, but this is the Eastern. And we finally, like, this is, I don't know, this is probably the fourth or fifth trip out in a row where we have heard it and someone has recorded it and we've got that, but we have never seen it. And I have come very close several times to not getting a photo, to almost getting a photo of it, because we will be able to locate it down to, it's in this tree, it's somewhere here, and it's going somewhere around. We might be able to see just the barest flash of like, oh, there it was, but it has this evolutionary trait of always managing to hide behind a leaf of some kind. So it actually finally came out. I got 3 photos of it. There was the first one where it finally was like, oh, is that what it is? And as it's moving, I thought it was pretty cool to really see it, here with this. It landed for a minute. It did its call, which was the perfect thing, especially for several of us who had never really seeing the bird, hearing the call, lining that all up at once, and I'm getting photos of it. Really, really cool. Really great to see that. And then it immediately moved off, just like the quickest. Like, I'm still there. The camera has barely moved, which means I'm holding it there and I'm just pressing down that shutter and letting it go. And it went from there, landed on the branch, and took off in a matter of seconds. Super cool to see. Really, really cool. Super happy about that. One more. I think that's just about it. Cedar waxwings are great. Super happy about that. That's great. Everything's super. I realize I'm saying that too much. After this, everything was said and done. There was one other spot that I went to that I also was not recording video for. This was at the tail end of the day. It just happened to be, hey, I'm gonna head here next because I'm not quite ready to go home yet. And somebody else came out, and we managed to see. Remember from a few weeks ago, another brand new one to me, but the quality was really bad because again, it was very far away and water, light, and everything. These ones were much closer to the shore at a reservoir. Franklin's gull. I'm much, much happier with these photos here. You can get a lot more detail. You can see so much more of them. In Colorado, this far, almost to the Rocky Mountains, this is considered rare. This is one of the few times that I actually, like, I think it's happened twice now, ever, that I put in a bird observation on eBird that was counted as rare, and I needed to add comments and then upload photos as proof, and it did not get kicked out because it's pretty clearly Franklin's gull. Whereas on the way back from Kansas, we thought it was the Nashville warbler. It was actually the Tennessee warbler. So Yes, there we go. Pretty cool. Technically counts as a rare bird. Got a much better photo of it. I'm way happier about this than some of the ones I got before. But hey, it all counts because that bobolink counts. And I really hope I see another one very soon. Bye, everybody.